Proverb 14:1. The wise woman builds her house, but with her own hands, the foolish one tears hers down. So, obviously, the man, the father, is, I would say, the most responsible for the house. You know, he is the head of the household, with Christ being the head of him, and the entire household, but mainly the head of him. And the woman, the wife, is also like the mother. You know, I think, I'm not a woman, so, you know, but in a wife, I think of it like this. I've been thinking of marriage more like this recently. How before you're actually a husband, you should already be a husband, and for a woman, before you're like a wife, you should already be a wife. And what does that mean? That you should have the characteristics of being a wife or being a husband, and you should have like those responsibilities, those kind of attitudes, like set in before you get married. Obviously, you will, you know, it'll improve, and it's still a struggle, but you'll get better, and you'll work at it throughout your marriage. But you should already be that before you get married. And with this proverb, I think especially like for my wife, if I have a wife, it'll be very important for her to build me up and not to tear me down, because you just kind of naturally tear yourself down. So to have someone else tearing you down, no, no. So yeah, just like as a wife and looking for a wife, it's very important for me that she will build me up and that she'll also encourage, and that will also apply to children too, to our children, because I want my kids to, you know, be uplifted and to be confident and to not be scared and to not be ashamed of themselves and like filled with shame. And like, you know, while this proverb is talking about the woman, how, you know, it really is up to her, how she has a lot of power when it comes to whether the house flourishes or whether the house slowly just withers. You know, it's on both parents, it's on both the father and the mother, to just really be responsible and to always prioritize God and to keep him, you know, in the heart. And, you know, we just have to love each other and just build each other up, because we're here for such a short time, and this time is so temporary. And you know, relationships and life is already just hard as it is, and a family, like home should always be a safe place. And I think like when you get married, if I get married, I am like, although our home is in heaven and it is in Christ, not like just forget heaven, it's just in Christ, but like on this earth, when you get married, you become one, and you kind of make that other person your home, I think. So, you know, it's very wise to just kind of like, you know, vet a person before you actually get married to them, and to not be controlled by lust, because that will blind you to a lot of red flags. Yeah. So I think just like the real message and the thing I want to take away from this is that I am a husband before I'm an actual husband, and my wife, the characteristics that I want in my wife, that woman will have those characteristics before she is actually like technically my wife. And that's very important, and that requires discernment. So just stay close to God. That's all we gotta do.